Hi class, today we're going to cover section 3, area of circles and sectors. Areas of circles should be something that shouldn't be too difficult for us, and then finding area of sectors of circles is going to be vaguely familiar to something we've already done this year. Alright, so the area of a circle, most of you have probably heard the area of a circle is pi r squared. Remember that r references the radius. All right, so let's try it out. Find the area of a circle with a radius of 15 meters. So our area formula is pi times our radius squared. Go ahead and punch that into your calculator. Make sure that the squared stays with 15, not with the pi. And when you get that, you have 706.9, don't forget our label, meters squared. You try out number 2. The only thing I want you to pay attention to is it's a diameter of 12. All right, find the radius of a circle with an area of 95 centimeters. So this way we're going to go backwards. Remember our formula is area is pi r squared. Well, we're going to plug 95 in for that area. Equals pi times r squared. We want to get r by itself. So we're going to start off by dividing by pi. And once you get that, what you have is r squared. And how do we get rid of the squared term? Yep, that's right. We're going to take the square root of our answer. So you're trying that out on your calculator. And we end up with r equals 5.5 centimeters. And it's just plain centimeters this time because we're not talking about area. Number 4, find the diameter of a circle with an area of 196 pi yards squared. Pay attention that it says pi with it. So we're going to plug that in for A. Then so we have pi r squared. And when you have a pi on both sides, what happens is it cancels, and we're left with 196 equals r squared. This problem is asking you for a diameter. So when you take the square root of both sides, times it by 2, and that gives you your diameter. If you and 3 friends order a large pizza from Pizza Hut, which has a 14-inch diameter, what is the total amount of pizza that in square inches that you will eat if you split the pizza equally? All right, well, if it has a diameter of 14 inches, that means it has a radius of 7. So let's start off by finding the area of the pizza. Go ahead and figure that out on your calculator. I got 153.93804, blah, blah. We'll just, for our sake, go to 0.9. And now we want to find out how much each person is going to get. Well, it's you and 3 friends, so that means there are 4 of you. So we're going to take our number and we're going to divide by 4. And we find out each person gets 38.5 square inches of pizza. All right, so here's the thing. We want to order pizza, so we want to make sure we're getting the best deal. So when we talk about the best deal, we're not talking about flavors, toppings, etc. We're purely talking about how many inches of pizza we can get per dollar. All right, a typical medium pizza has a diameter of 12 inches, and a large pizza has a diameter of 14. And the two deals we're going to compare is Domino's Pizza has 2 medium, 2 topping pizzas for $5.99 each. Papa John's has all large pizzas for $10. All right, so we have some things here we need to find. The area of a large Papa John's pizza. In the last problem we just did, we actually did just find the area of a large pizza. So it's 153.9 square inches. We want to know how many inches of pizza we can get per dollar. Well, if we look back, the problem said that it's $10 for the pizza. So let's take our square inches and divide by 10. If we round that to our tenth, we get 15.4 square inches per $1. All right, so your job now, I want you guys to go through and find the area of a medium pizza, the area of 2 medium pizzas. Remember the Domino's is for 2. The price for 2, don't round it to $6, and then find out how many square inches of Domino's pizza you can get per dollar. If you need that information, just go ahead and rewind the video a little bit, and so you'll see that previous slide. All right, let's talk about area of a sector of a circle. We have talked previously about finding the length of a arc before, and that formula was length equals x over 360 times diameter pi. And diameter pi is circumference formula. And circumference is talking about the distance around the circle, so that makes sense that the length deals with our distance formula. This time we're actually going to be talking about the area. So let's talk about all of this space here. It's a very similar formula. The area for a sector, again, is going to have that ratio out of 360. And then instead of talking about circumference, we're talking about area. So pi r squared. So if we use that formula here, we're finding our shaded area. So our x is our shaded angle over 360 times pi, and our radius was 6 squared. Go ahead and do a little plug and chug on your calculator. Pause the video if you need to. And when we do that, we find that that area is 46.5 meters squared. We are talking about area, and so that's why we're going to use our meters, and it's squared. All right, we have 2 more here. I want you guys to try 7 on your own, and I'm going to have you guys do 8 also, but I just want to point out here, 65 is the unshaded area, and we want to know the shaded sector. All right, so keep that in mind when you're figuring that one out. Taking a look here at 9, we have 2 sectors that are congruent. And if the bottom here is 130, this top is 130. So to find our degrees for the shaded, let's take 360 and minus the 260, that's our unshaded, and we're left with 100. Now that 100 covers both sections, so each is 50 degrees. But we're just finding the total area of the shaded. So we can actually do this together in one piece. So 100 over 360 times our diameter, that's our length formula, times pi, and our radius squared. Go ahead and type that into your calculator. And we end up with 7.9 meters squared for our area, and that's for both sections together. All right, our last one here, we need to again find the area of the shaded section. And so take a moment, pause, think about how you might want to find the area of the shaded segment. All right, so thinking about it, we are actually going to find the area of the whole circle, and then we're going to subtract out the area of the small unshaded circle. So the area of the large circle is going to be pi times the radius. Well, our diameter is 9, so half of that is our radius squared minus, now we need to find the radius of the small circle, so right here. And the one thing that we notice first is that it's got these little red lines here. And remember that those mean congruent. So if this whole piece here is 4.5, because it's the radius of the large circle, half of that is going to be each of these sections. So 4.5 divided by 2, and we get 2.25 for each of those sections. So our radius for our small circle is actually this 2.25. So pi times 2.25 squared. Go ahead and figure that out on your calculator, and we'll double check our answers tomorrow. And make sure that you have your label centimeters squared.